You know how some AIs can do way more than just answer a simple question? Like how they can manage your calendar or research market trends or even run an entire customer service department? Well, that isn't magic. It's an invisible force called context engineering. And today, we're going to make it visible. Okay, so let's get right into it. We've all heard of prompt engineering, right? That's basically like having a chat, a back and forth with an AI. But context engineering? That's a whole other ballgame. We're not talking about a conversation anymore. We're talking about designing and building an entire system for the AI to work in. It's a huge leap. So here's our game plan for the next few minutes. We'll start with why simple chats just don't cut it anymore. Then we'll nail down what context engineering actually is, and we'll take apart an AI agent to see what it's made of. We'll even get a peek at its instruction manual, and finally, we'll see why this skill is building the future. All right, so first up, let's talk about why we even need to go beyond our normal AI chats. You really have to see the limits of a simple conversation to get why these engineered systems are so powerful. Think about it. Prompting an AI is awesome if you want to, say, find the best running shoes. You can ask about the cushion, the price, what color might look good. It's a great little collaborative chat. That's prompt engineering doing what it does best. But what happens when the job gets massive? What if you're building an AI to handle all of a company's customer service? It has to deal with billing, refunds, login problems, maybe even some really angry people. And it has to do it all on its own. You can't just have a quick chat and hope it figures it out. You need something way, way more robust. And that something more robust is context engineering. This is where we stop being a chat partner and start being an architect. So here's the official definition. At its core, context engineering is all about designing systems that feed an AI exactly what it needs right when it needs it. Picture the AI's input space as a backpack. Your job as a context engineer is to perfectly pack that backpack with every instruction, tool, and piece of knowledge it's going to need for a complex mission. And check this out. AI researcher Andrej Karpathy came up with this brilliant analogy. He said the language model, the LLM, that's the computer's brain, the CPU. But the context window, that's its short-term memory, the RAM. So the better you get at packing that RAM with the right info, the faster and smarter that CPU is going to run. Okay, to really see how this all works, we need to pop the hood on what we're building here, which is called an AI agent. Let's break down its parts. And to do that, we're going to use an analogy that, well, you probably didn't see coming. An AI agent is actually a lot like a burger. Yeah, a burger. It looks pretty simple from the outside, but it's actually made of a bunch of different essential parts that all have to work together perfectly. So let's look at these ingredients. The model, that's the patty, right? The core AI brain, like GPT. The tools are like its hands, letting it do things in the real world, like check your Google Calendar. Knowledge and memory is its brain, a place to remember stuff. Audio and speech, that's its voice. Guardrails are its conscience. Setting the rules. And finally, orchestration is the whole kitchen, the system that builds, serves, and keeps an eye on the final burger. But here's the kicker. You could have the world's best ingredients sitting on the counter, but if you don't have a recipe, you've just got a pile of stuff. You need an instruction manual to put it all together. And that instruction manual, that recipe, that is what the context engineer creates. They're the ones writing the master prompt that tells the AI exactly how to use all those ingredients to get the job done right every single time. And I want to be super clear here. This is not just a sentence or two. It's a highly structured blueprint. It honestly looks more like computer code than English, using special tags and formatting to create a super rigid plan that leaves absolutely no room for guessing. So for a research agent, that blueprint might create a really precise workflow. Look at this. It moves from a big idea, like breaking a query into smaller tasks, all the way down to super specific actions, like formatting the output in a certain way or calculating the exact right dates to search. Every single step is defined with total engineering precision. Now, this master blueprint itself is broken down into 4 key parts. It starts with the role, giving the AI its identity. Then it outlines the task in that step-by-step plan. After that come the constraints. These are the rules, like no fluff or be professional. And finally, it lists its capabilities, telling the AI exactly what tools and knowledge it's allowed to use. As you can see, this is worlds away from just having a chat. And this level of detailed, meticulous design is exactly why context engineering is shaping the entire future of how we use AI. And the whole field is just getting deeper and more complex. People are working on advanced strategies, like teaching an AI to write down its thoughts to use later, or selectively pulling in just the right data from the web, or compressing huge documents into tiny, useful summaries. This is a serious engineering discipline, and it's evolving fast. So, I'll leave you with this one question. The next time you see an AI pull off some complex, multi-step task flawlessly, are you going to see it as a piece of tech magic? Or are you now going to see the invisible architecture, the detailed blueprint, and the careful work of the context engineer working behind the curtain?